I don't know about you all, but normally as the weather begins to turn a little colder, this is a time of year when I pull out my winter clothing from last year and start to assess the things that I want to use again this year. Sometimes I find that the sweaters that I had from last year, I'm not that interested in anymore, and I want to get some new sweaters. So before I throw away and waste the things that I had last year, I try to figure out cool ways to repurpose and to upcycle them. And so one of the things that I think works really well is to turn your old sweaters into slouchy beanies and leg warmers. So that's the thing that we're going to do on today. We're going to show you how to make that happen. The sweaters that we have actually were sourced from the Durham Rescue Mission. However, if you've got some in your closet, there's no better way of putting them back into good use. So there is a video that I made of my daughter modeling the outcome of what we're supposed to have on this evening. So if you'll show the video, it's a very short video, but it kind of gives you an idea of what the outcome or the expected outcome should be.
Can everybody see the video at the moment? It shouldn't be fine.
I can see it. Yep.
You gotta go and get angry at all of my honesty. You know I try, but I don't do too well with apologies. I hope I don't run out of time.
Okay.
So that's the slouchy beanie look and the leg warmers that we're going to be working on today. And I hope that you all are as excited as I am. It's a good accessory to kind of sort of pick up a little outfit that you kind of think is maybe drab or draggy. It'll kind of sort of take it to the next level. And I think it's super cool and super cute. It's also very simple. So the first thing we're going to do is go over the supplies, and I think Mac actually went over them. There was one thing that he didn't mention. We're going to need and this is a sweater that I'll be working on with you all today. You'll need your sweater. You'll need your embroidery floss, and I have two colors here because I have the one that's left over from my initial project, which is the one you saw. You're also going to need your plastic needle. This is pretty safe. You don't have to worry about anybody puncturing or having any whoops-a-daisy moments. But you're also going to need your pattern and a pair of good scissors. Hopefully everybody has a pair of scissors that is sharp enough to cut the sweater. If you don't have one right in front of you, go ahead and grab a pair so that we can lay our pattern down and get started. I'll give just a couple of seconds. So this is what the beanie looks like when it's turned inside out. As you can see, there's a row of stitches, and I purposely did this row of stitches in red so that you could see it. Normally, I would have done it in blue so that when you turn it to the right side, you can't see it on the thread on the outside. But I did perform these stitches, and they are hand stitches. I performed them with red thread so that you can just really, really identify the position of where they are and how they're supposed to run together. Your pattern actually has numbers and directions on it, and it corresponds like this. Now yours has writing, and it says start here, and it has an arrow that shows the stitches going that way. Then it says number 2 goes here, and the stitches will go in that direction. But then we're going to change the course of our stitches. We'll actually have to open our pattern up, and we'll sew row 3 and row 4. Okay, so those are the actual rows of stitching that we will be performing. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that will perform in a manner that will produce the same slouchy beanie that you saw before. Okay, So the first thing I want you to do is to take the sweater that you have, and I wanted you to turn it inside out. We're going to work with our stitches on the wrong side of our hat, just so that they're camouflaged and you can't see them.
Do you mind talking too about the kind, if there's anybody who sees this at home and is getting their own materials, do you mind talking about the kind of sweater they want in terms of the ribbing?
So it's a pretty forgiving project in that any sweater that has this ribbed band on the bottom, let me show you what I mean by ribbed band. It's a sweater where the body of the sweater is more loosely knitted than the band at the bottom. It just has those ribs at the bottom. So any sweater that has that feature can be used. Okay? So I'd like for you to turn your sweater inside out. As you can see, I have the tag here, which represents the fact that it's on the wrong side. Okay? And then I'd like for you to grab your pattern. Now yours has writing on it, mine does not. I want you to place the side that has the writing facing up. And here's where we're gonna have to do a little bit of critical thinking. For this particular pattern, this pattern is sized for a smaller head, probably a head that's about the size of one of the younger participants, like maybe third grade, maybe fourth grade, maybe Ellis's size. However, if you are Ellis's age or size and you have a lot of hair like me, you're going to want to upsize your pattern just so that you have enough room to give the actual slouchy look. This particular one, the one that I made for my daughter, I actually took my pattern, I moved it up from the ridged edge, and I moved it over from the side edge. Again, I moved it up from the bottom band, and I moved it over just to give a little bit more room to give a slouchy look. Now it looks pretty large, but trust me, once you put your stitches in, it won't be as large as it looks. I want you to take a note and make sure that the folded together edge, the side that's folded together, meets the side of your sweater that is folded together. So even if you're moving it up and over, the folded edge of your pattern should also touch or face the folded edge of your sweater. Now, if you're wondering how far over, I probably would do about 3 fingers width and maybe 2 at the bottom. So 2 from the band and 3 from the side. And that should give you enough width and height to give a slouchy look. Okay? Once you have achieved that, you can go ahead and begin to cut. The only area that we will not cut is this folded area. We will follow up the side. We will go into the actual slant. We'll come back out of the slant and we'll end up over here on the side. We will not cut the folded edge. That side needs to remain stitched. So again, the direction of our stitches is the same direction that we're cutting. We're going to come up, go around, we'll scoop into the ridge, come back out of the ridge, and we'll go over to the edge. Even if whether your pattern is here or your pattern is 3 fingers width over, we'll still do the same thing. Okay? I'm going to attempt to cut. It is upside down for me. And it's like that so that you all can see it. So I'm going to have to try and cut it. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually turn it. I think it's wiser to just turn it. Are there any questions? Matt, I can't see. Are there anybody? Is there anyone who has a question?
If anybody has a question, unmute and let us know. I don't see anybody so far.
My question is, explain to me one more time how we're going to do this. Because like I said,
Okay.
this time.
So you have your pattern, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so if you prefer, and I think that you're probably going to need to make it a little larger because you are an older student, I think that you should move your pattern over about 3 fingers from the fold. Okay. So the edge, the folded edge, I want you to put 3 fingers down and slide your pattern over. And then from the bottom, I want you to put 2 fingers down at the band and slide your pattern up. So 3 over and 2 up. Okay. Okay. Then you're going to hold your pattern in place and just begin to cut, going all the way up and around. You're going to go into the little edge, scooped edge, come back out of the scooped edge, and then you're going to come over to the edge. Okay. To the folded side. Okay. Okay. And it may help to hold it down with one hand. I am right-handed, so I got a crossover deal going here.
Is it possible if we have a big enough sweater to make 2 hats out of it?
It is. In actuality, the 2 that you saw earlier came from the same sweater. It came from the same sweater.
Wonderful.
It did. This is really, really. And as you can see, I'm just going to curve right over as if my pattern were laid on the side. Okay, now don't get rid of your sweater, because if you'd like to have leg warmers, and it's optional, if you'd like to have leg warmers, we're going to utilize the sleeves of the sweater as well. I'm going to actually center this just a little bit to try and get that little edge closer to the center. So it's just a little triangle you're cutting out of that center part. Okay. Do we have any questions about cutting? My daughter's hand is cramping. All right. Is everyone ready to move forward?
If you need a little time, unmute and let us know. Looks like the presents are ready. And so are the sheaves.
So the strange thing is that my sweater actually had a little slit on the side. So I'll have to actually go in and sew that together. Hopefully all of you had stitches that came all the way down to the bottom of your band. So just for visibility's sake, I'm gonna stitch again with red embroidery floss, just so that you all can see precisely what I'm doing. I do have blue, and hopefully the floss that you have matches your sweater a little better than my red. However, just so that you all can see for the filming process, I'm gonna go ahead and use the red. And hopefully I have enough left over because I actually did my other hats with the red. So I'm gonna try to get through it.
I think we're getting a little bit of feedback. So you might want to only do audio on your iPad. I'm not sure if
It should be. Is the audio on there? Mm-hmm. It's off?
Yeah, it's off. It's muted.
It's muted? All right, so to make sure the volume is turned all the way down as well. Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, or maybe I should switch. Should I turn the audio off on the iPad and turn it on the other device? You think that'll be better?
I think it's okay right now.
Okay, perfect. All right. So we're going to thread the needle. And I know that most people, it's pretty self-explanatory. However, if you'll notice that the embroidery floss is a lot thicker than a normal thread, it actually has several yarns that are just twisted together. And so what our challenge is to treat it as one thread, even though it has several little parts to it. So what I usually do is I put what I call a little DNA on it, which is actually saliva. And in this COVID environment, let's not switch and swap, but I actually have to just kind of put a little bit of saliva on it just so that it sticks together when I thread the needle. So you want to put the yarns through the eye of the needle, and we're going to sew with a doubled thread. The length of your thread doesn't need to be any longer than your forearm. The length of your forearm is enough length. Anything longer than your forearm kind of gets tangled and gives you problems later on. So do not make it super duper long. You just want it to be about the length of your forearm. Once you doubled it to the length of your forearm, you will cut it and you will just make a knot at the end. You're going to knot both threads together, just like so. Tuck it under and pull it out. Okay. Anybody need to see that again? I'll do it again just for clarity's sake. You're going to just loop it around your fingers. You'll take 2 fingers, loop it around 2 fingers, tuck the tail underneath, both of the tails together, and then you'll just pull it out till you get a knot. Okay?
I think it's actually coming from me. I think I'm the feedback.
Okay. All right. So the type of stitch that we're going to use to make sure that it's nice and secure is called a back stitch. It's a variation of the back stitch. The way that we're going to perform this back stitch is that you will start at the bottom of the fabric and you'll push your needle up. Can you see? You'll come from the bottom of the fabric and you'll push your needle up from the bottom to the top. And these needles are not very sharp, so it may take a little bit of pressure. You're going to push it up, pull it all the way out, and give it a good tug. Not so much that you pull the knot through, but give it a good tug so that the knot is flush against the back of your fabric. and then you'll just go right back down. Try to make sure your stitches are not too long. You don't want a large, wide stitch. Okay. So that's the first stitch. But in order to perform a back stitch, when you push your needle back up through the fabric, you want to come up in the middle of that first stitch. Can everybody see how I push the needle up through the first stitch? I'm going to give it a good tug, and then I'm going to go forward and go back down. So it almost looks like I'm creating a line instead of broken stitches. Again, when I come back up, I'm going to try to come up in the middle of the stitch that I just created. Give it a good tug, and then I'm going to go forward and go back down. So on the top of my fabric, it looks like a solid line. Looks like a solid line. But on the back of the fabric, it does look like a dotted line. And I need to give a good tug the next time because I have a loop here, and that loop shouldn't be present. That's because I didn't tug it well. There it is. Okay. Now this is the tail from my knot. Okay. So again, as I come back up, I want to come up in the center of the stitch that I just created. And it may take a couple of seconds to poke it through in just the right position. Give a good tug, and then go back down in a forward position so that my line is growing. Okay. Again, I want to poke back up through that last stitch. Give a good tug, and then move forward just a bit. Okay. That's what the front looks like. And this is what the back looks like. All right. Here's the first hat. As you can see, it looks like a running stitch, and the back looks like broken stitches. Do we have any questions? Okay, so we're just going to continue that. And we're going to continue until we run almost out of thread, because as we go longer or farther up the side of the hat, our thread is going to get shorter. When we get to the point where our thread has gotten pretty short, we're going to stop, make a knot, rethread, and keep going. Because we've got to reach all the way up to the top where the break is or the slant is in the hat. Don't forget to give a good tug each time you go in or out of your fabric. That will eliminate any loops and keep your tension nice and tight. Mac, I have a question.
Yes.
What was the selection process like for those who picked up sweaters?
So what I did is just let them come inside and then pick from the ones we had available.
Okay. So did the students actually get to choose their favorite?
It was mostly parents.
Parents, I see. Just curious to know what the color selection was and what criteria they used to select. Is anybody willing to answer that? As far as what color?
What was the question?
What color sweater? We, Mac and I went to the thrift store, and we were kind of struggling to figure out which colors would most likely be popular. And so I'm curious to know who chose which sweater.
Oh, I chose the yellow sweater.
The yellow sweater.
Just
That
'cause.
kind of marigold one.
Yes, that was one of the ones that we really liked, wasn't it, Mac?
It was. Now, when you're pushing through the loops,
Uh-huh.
because they're two sides, like there's a
Do you know what you're
I'm
doing?
worried I'm not getting like right in between both threads. I'm worried that I'm like getting some of the threads that make up.
It's not even on both sides of the needle?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
That's
not sure,
fine.
though.
That's fine.
Okay.
Now, because I have a pretty steady hand and I have a little bit of experience, it's kind of easier for me to judge exactly where the middle is. But that's not going to make a difference one way or another. It's not going to make it any tighter or any more uniform on the outside. It's just something that I've had a little more practice with.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is my first time hand sewing, so it is.
And there are several stitches that that go along or correspond with hand stitching. This is the one though that I think is going to make it most durable, most sturdy. So this back stitch does not create gaps, and for that reason, I think it's going to look more uniform on the outside, and I think it'll last a little longer. Yeah. Is anyone coming to the point where it's time to rethread the needle?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's where I am right now. I've got about a finger's width of thread left. And notice that I want the needle to be on the top side before you change it. What I'd like you to do is take your scissors, cut the needle from the thread, separate the two threads, and just tie a knot, a double knot. That means you're going to create an opening, loop one tail through, pull it tight, create another opening, loop the tail through, and pull it tight again. Okay? Did everyone see that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna do it again just for clarity's sake. You're just gonna make a hole or an opening. You're gonna push the thread through, pull it tight, and then just create another tie by doing it again. Okay? Once you've done that, go ahead and cut the tails short. Okay, can everybody see that knot? At this point, you will rethread and you will just continue the same way you started. We're going to sew all the way around the perimeter and we will stop and tie a knot once we get to the opening. Okay. So again, I'm going to put a little bit of DNA on my embroidery floss. I'm going to double my thread to the point where it's about the length of my forearm, not too long. Separate it and create a knot at the end. Okay. All right. As I begin, I'm going to start right where I left off. I can see my stitches. I'm going to poke my needle right back through the last set of stitches. That's if I can get it to poke through. So I came from the bottom up. We always start from the bottom and come up to the top. And then I'm going to go right back down in a forward motion. Give it a good tug. And then back step to the center. Okay. Go forward. Give it a good tug. Back up through the center. Good tug. All right, is anyone moving much faster than I am? Anybody almost at the top?
Me.
Oh, wow, let me speed up. Now, who is me? I can't identify your voice. What's your name? Who's me?
Gabby.
Gabby, okay. Gabby, you have experience hand sewing? Is this something you've done before?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Gabby's moving along quickly. And sometimes because the knit is tight, it's kind of hard to poke through. And these needles are not super sharp. So that may be given a little bit of a challenge.
Mr. Mac and Miss Danwell,
Danelle, uh-huh.
when y'all was picking out the sweater that looks like this one, did you
Oh, I
guys
wish I could see. Okay, which one?
It's like the one with like the crochet sweater looking. It's kind of like yours, but it's bigger.
Hold it up, let me look. Hold it up.
More gaps between the threads.
Yeah.
The weave is loose. Oh, I mean, the knit is loose. Mm-hmm.
You're doing good. Was it supposed to be hard? Cause like it kind of unravels a little.
It's unraveling a little bit, and so because the knit is chunky and loose, it does. How close are you to the edge?
Kind of.
Are you far enough from the edge?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
it may just mean that you need to move a little farther in from the edge, not super far in, but just a little farther. Because I'm about a finger's width from the edge. So maybe if you come in just a little bit more, it won't unravel as quickly.
Okay.
See if that helps you. Anybody else have a concern? Anything else? Given a challenge? I'm trying to pull. Is Stephanie? How's it going?
Good.
It's going okay?
Yes.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it's okay. Push it up. Right here. From where you came out to the last in the middle. See?
Camille, are you with us? Camille?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm checking in on you. How's it going?
I'm doing well. I have like kind of the same problem with it being a larger knit, but I think I'm doing it pretty good.
The loops. Okay, so try that little technique of moving in just a little further from the edge, because sometimes if you're really close, it just puts too much tension and it starts to unloop or unravel. See if that helps just a little bit.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Oh, look, wait. Gabby, you're done? Wait a minute. You left everybody in the dust? What happened? You got a sewing machine over there. What's happening?
She rushed through it. I'm telling you.
Your stitches must be huge. But
It was some of it are.
Some of them were really long.
Yeah.
So did you get the part? Because when it comes to this little split right here, you have to open it up almost like a bag of potato chips and sew in the opposite direction. Did she grasp that? No, because you want here's the thing. You want your top to kind of have a crisscross pattern like this. Can you see it?
I
want to make another one.
So what happened? She was excited. She was like, I'm going to the finish line.
She was too excited.
Yes. I'm glad. And maybe her sweater is large enough to get another hat out of it. Yeah. I love the pattern. I like that print that she has. But yes, you definitely want to, as you come from bottom to top, on this side over here, you're only stitching from that folded edge to the top. So that's a lot shorter. But then you're going to open it up and go around the other curve in order to give you that same look at the top.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Gabby said, I gotta move. I gotta zoom.
I don't want already. Yes, Gabby.
Well, the good thing about it, like I said, is that, these things, they're timeless. Those little slouchy beanies, they've been worn. They're classics. People wear them all the time. And so, you get as many sweaters as you don't want anymore, or as many sweaters as you can find at a thrift store. Those are your opportunities to create these little finds. And as you can see, my daughter accessorized hers. She's a little older, a bit of a fashionista. But she paired hers with jean jacket and all that kind of stuff like that. So
that was cute.
Several ways to dress it up and keep it, trendy. So let me speed up because I feel like Gabby showed me up. Wait a minute. Mac, how you doing?
It took me a little while. But I'm about to the end of of number one.
To the curve? All right. I'm coming along too.
My stitches look great, but they're
that's okay because it's on the inside. When
Yeah.
you turn it to the right side out, nobody will be the wiser. No one will be the wiser. It's a very forgiving project. So again, I've come to the point where I need to cut my thread. I got about a finger's length. So I'm gonna cut, tie a knot, and rethread. Mac, help me out. I want to check on the, say it for me. Dizal?
Sheila.
Zila. All right, how's it going?
Savaya and I forget your cousin's name. I'm so sorry.
Preston.
How's it going over there?
Good. I'm helping Preston with his stitches.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you being my hands. That's the one thing I miss about sewing camp is the interaction that I got to have with the students. I will be so excited when we're able to do this in a regular or more regular normalized way. I think I'll be excited about that. Hopefully it won't be long.
Where's my needle?
So I'm actually coming to the end of my red thread, friends. So my next row of stitches is probably going to have to be with the blue, and hopefully you'll be able to still see it. But this is my last little portion of red thread.
You want me to? Oh no. Yeah, no, it's going.
So Gabby, I'm going to give you instructions in just a moment once I can kind of get everybody else moving. I'm going to give you instructions on how to do your leg warmers because there's no sewing involved in the leg warmers. The leg warmers are just for aesthetic and they have no stitches involved. You just kind of sort of cut it in the right position and slouch them up on your legs.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, let me see if I can speed forward. Ellis, are you almost, wait a minute, what do you have there? Are you almost done? You're to the point where you need to do the cross section? Are you ready to go into the little middle section? Yeah. All right, give me 1 second. I'm catching up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, and so are we.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Section. We're ready for the cross section.
Ready for the cross section. All right, so you've actually gone from
is it
from the folded edge over as well?
What did you say?
Did you get an opportunity to stitch from the folded section over? The pattern, I think the pattern is number 2, the second row.
No, ma'am.
Okay, wait. So once you have stitched this row, going all the way here, you have to stitch from this direction over here, going to the cross section as well. There are 4 rows of stitches that you got to perform. And I'm trying to get past row number 1. I made my hat really big, super slouchy.
Come with a video. She's going to show us something.
I'm speeding through. The stitches are getting sloppy because I'm moving fast. All right. Let's see. Okay. I think I have enough fabric left to make a little beanie for my dog. I wonder if I could get Coco to wear a beanie. Let's see. Okay. All right, I'm there, guys. I'm there. Okay. All right, Ellis, I think I'm finally here. All right. Okay. All right, so that's my first row. If you can see, my next row will come from this folded edge all the way to that center point again. Ellis, are you waving to me?
No. I was just gonna say that we're already like almost done with that part.
Oh, wait. I'm coming. Don't leave me.
We won't leave you.
I'm speeding along. I can't get as fast as Gabby. Wait a minute.
Our dog is on my mom.
Okay, wait. Somebody has super fast fingers. Okay. So you'll start here at the folded edge and you'll go in the direction moving towards that little curved edge. And again, I apologize. My red floss has run out and I'm gonna have to switch over to the blue, and I hope it still gives you all good visibility, because blue on blue is difficult to see. Camille, you doing okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'm at the split edge part right now.
I'm coming. Wait for me. Let me see. And then my embroidery floss. All right, so I'm starting with the blue. Well, mine is two-tone on the inside. Okay, I'm racing through, y'all. And I know it's difficult for you all to see it because I'm right here and I can barely see it. Something weird is happening here. Something strange is happening. Okay, I'm almost there. My daughter's laughing because I feel like I'm racing a marathon. Like I'm running a sprint. I'm coming. Ellis is looking like, hey, yeah. Okay. Yes.
I learned how to make pom-poms.
Oh, wow.
Can we put pom-poms on the hat that
Absolutely. I think that's the cutest look. If you put it like on the outside, it gives it such a cute little look. I think that is so cute. I actually struggle with pom-poms sometimes because I always trim them down too much. They wind up looking like, I don't know, like little bitty, like the little tiny ones as opposed to the big bushy ones I want. Okay. All right. So finally, I'm going to tie my knot. These stitches are super messy because I was rushing so fast. However, I want to show you all the next direction of the stitches and how they have to go. And I've also noticed that this embroidery thread is so much more silky than the red. It's really shiny and slippery. So that's one of the reasons why it was kind of giving me some problems too. But as you can see, I went from here up to the edge. What I have to do now is open it up this way. I'm going to sew from here to there, and then from here to there.
So I'd make sure everybody watch what she just showed you, even if you haven't gotten to that point yet, just so you know what to expect.
Take a look. Right. So this is how it was when I was doing the first row of stitches and the second row of stitches. Now we're going to actually pick up the hat and turn it so that that fold is on top. And it creates just a rounded dome at the top. You no longer see that little curved split, but it looks just like a little rounded dome across the top. Any questions? And that's going to give us that X at the top of our beanie. Okay, so let me thread another needle because I run out just as quick as I get started, seems like. And these are the last 2 stitches. These are the last 2 rows. Once we've done these, our hat is complete. And thank goodness these 2 rows are kind of short. They're nowhere near as long as the first one or the second one. All right. So I'm going to start my stitches by coming up. I'm going back down. And then I'm coming up through the center. Gabby is showing her hat off. Does anybody else have this navy blue thread, this shiny blue thread like I have? Something about the texture of it is a lot different than the red I had. All right, that was super quick. That's the end of row 3 for me. And then row 4 will complete it. Is Stephanie, how you coming? Did we lose her?
Stephanie went to the bathroom real quick, but we're still actually on number 1.
Oh, look, I understand. I had to rush through it. I just felt so left behind. So I'm on step 4. 3 is complete. I'm on the 4th and final row, which is very short, thank goodness. Mac, how you coming?
I am just starting the second row.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time. How's it coming, Preston?
Very slowly. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing.
It's coming. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race. All right.
For some reason, we keep on getting feedback every once in a while. I can't figure out what it is because it seems like everything else is muted.
And I don't know why, because my second device is muted.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe they're too close to each other, but we can't move it because I was like, well, maybe we can move it, but then we can't move it because then you can't see.
We might try unmuting the second device and then muting.
Switching the audios?
Yeah, switching the audio. Think we can try that real quick if that's not too much trouble.
Is that worse or better? Way worse.
Way worse. Not screeching, but very echoey for some reason. That's so odd.
Look. Oh. Ellis has hers done. And it's the perfect size.
Wow, Ellis, that's fast.
Ellis has super fast fingers, and her and Gabby. So mine, as I forestated, mine had a little slit on the side. So I would need to close that up. So I'm going to work on that really quickly and give you all a couple more minutes so that I can have a hat that's functional instead of one that has a split on the side. Let's see. And that's just the style of the sweater that I chose. It just had a little split. All right, let's see. How's that that larger knit showing up for you all? Is it still unraveling really bad? Camille, how's your knit doing?
I'm actually done.
Oh, awesome. You were able
I'll
to.
try to put on my video.
Okay. I'm excited. I see it, and you've actually flipped your band up. I think that's what I think I see. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
You didn't like the slouchy look.
No, it was. Oh, sorry. I'm on my video. It was an okay look, but I like the band. I just like the band style.
Okay, and like I said, the versatility is definitely a plus. I'm glad. So we're gonna, as soon as I get through closing up this side of mine, I'm gonna just kind of give you all an overview of how to cut the leg warmers. And again, there's no stitching associated with the leg warmers. You're just gonna cut them and kind of scrunch them up. Use the ribbed part of it as the top band, and the other part will go just kind of fit down into your boots and give you just a matching little accessory to go with your hat. And some of the ideas that could actually go along with this is one that Ellis said. You could put a pom-pom on it. You could sew buttons on it or patches. In fact, the sweater that I chose actually had a flag on it. So it was a Tommy Hilfiger sweater from the thrift store, and it just had a little flag on it. So you could do things like, you know, put little jewels on it, like glue little jewels or all types of things just to accessorize it and give it an even more personalized look. So here we have it. Let's see if I can get it to fit over these braids. All right. Messing up your hair, huh? Preston, how'd you? Now, I didn't get a peek at Preston at all. He's off camera.
He went to have dinner.
Okay, and how's yours turning out with that larger weave? I couldn't
get the X like I wanted, but I got the X, but I don't think it looks cute.
Let me see. I think it looks cute. Let's see. Your color is everything anyway.
I know. Put it on.
Well, it's such a forgiving project, and if I can squeeze mine on my head, let me just see you put it on really quick. I bet you it's.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you did it.
I like yours. Yours looks cute.
Huh?
Yours looks cute.
Thank you. Yours is absolutely adorable too. I think we all did a great job.
Maybe you'll look even adorable when I put the pom-pom on.
Absolutely. Just a little something to accent the top. And like I said, what you could do is you could put like little, you could glue little jewels on the side or across the front. You could put buttons on it, just accessorize it any way you like. So in regards to your leg warmers, there's so much more left from this sweater that if you wanted to do another one and you have enough room at the bottom, you can. But then you also have this long arm. Now this arm right here would be more the size of a child's leg. However, it could definitely be cut below the armpit like so. And this rib portion right here could go at the top, and the cut portion could be put down into your boots so that you have matching leg warmers. The trick, though, is to be sure that you lay one on top of the other so that they're even, that you don't have one long leg warmer and one short leg warmer. So once you cut the first one, and just be sure you cut it below the armpit, because as it goes up further, it gets wider, and you don't want it to flare out at the ankle. You want to kind of stay kind of tight so that it'll fit down into your boots. And so you just lay the arm on top of the other one. Give it a nice even cut. Then you have your matching leg warmers. And this one is so cool because the design is at the top where you could actually see it when you turn it right side out. I think the ones with the stripes are really, really, really nice because they give like a really, really cute pop at your at the leg of your pants.
I am done with number 2 now, but
awesome.
Here I am behind everybody else.
It's okay. It's all right. We're all moving at our own pace.
Do you mind showing how to, so there's something you have to do once you're done with number 2, right? There's a.
So number 2, okay. Once you're done with number 2, you're gonna pick up so 1 and 2 look like, you're gonna think I'm crazy because I kept just asking myself, where's my hat? It's on my head. I was like, what did I do with the hat? It's on my head. Okay, so 1 and 2, the position looks like this. So what you'll do is you'll pick your hat up and open it so that that split comes together and you have a dome right there. Did that make sense to you?
That's the part I'm struggling with.
Okay, so lay it back down. Let me see if I can find the pattern.
I think I see. Okay, so I got it like this.
So it looks like this.
Like grab the corners.
And pull it out like a bag of potato chips. Yep.
Okay, and then
you'll go from end to center, end to center.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. That's gonna give you your X. Yes, Ellis?
I just finished my leg warmers.
Can I see? Awesome. So you want to put the ribbed part, like the tight part, at the top because that's going to keep it from sliding down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the bottom part, you'll just scrunch down into your boots, and you'll kind of sort of, kind of give it like a scrunchy look. And see, your leg is so small that it actually can go all the way up to your thigh. And so if it seems a little bit too loose, you can put a couple of stitches in the side, and that'll just kind of tighten it up a little bit for you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So that's basically the gist of the project. That's basically it. Matt, can you show the video one more time?
Sure.
Just so everybody can see how the boots kind of, she has hers all the way up to the thigh. That's funny.
You gotta go and get angry at all of my honesty. You know I try, but I don't do too well with apologies. I hope I don't run out of time.
So you can wear your leg warmers maybe about up to your calf, and just kind of scrunch it up just a little bit. And like I said, if it seems a little bit too loose, you can just put a couple of stitches in the side of the rib part to kind of make it tighten up a little bit. And then that way it'll scrunch down for you and it won't keep sliding down. because Ellis has very, very small legs. She could probably pull hers all the way up to her chin. So that's about.
Where's everybody at? Is everyone pretty much done?
I think they're wearing them. I think Camille has hers on. There's another one looking all jazzy in the corner.
Looks like Gabby.
I think if Stephanie is still working. I think if Stephanie went to the bathroom and decided she was gonna hang out, so Mom could finish hers. And Stephanie pulled a fast one on Mom. Up there she is. She's working on her leg warmers. Okay.
Yeah, we got the leg. I was like, here, let's get you your leg warmer so you can have fun with that while I finish this up.
How's it coming? Is it coming all right?
Yeah, I'm still working on number 2.
Okay.
Well, this is nice. Something like, I feel like I could do this and then gift them for Christmas. Maybe.
Yes, absolutely. This is a good project to work on while watching some Christmas movies, or just, just relaxing with the family. And next thing you know, you got gifts galore.
Well, I just took a look at the time, and I believe we're a little over time. So does everyone feel comfortable? If you're not done yet, do you feel like you can get the rest done on your own?
Gabby's is super cute too.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, think we're good? All right, y'all. Well, I thank you guys for coming out. Our next activity is going to be some service letter writing. We're going to do a little holiday kit with hot cocoa and some other snacks.
Oh.
And then we're also going to have stuff for letter writing, so we can write some letters to some children in hospitals and seniors.
Oh.
So I'll be sending out that information. I don't know if you found us through 4-H online, or if you found us through some of our constant contact emails, but I'll be sending it out both ways. Also, we'll have it on Facebook. That is December 2nd. So if you'd like to join us for that, everything in the kit will be free, just like this time. We'll have pickup on like Monday and Tuesday beforehand. And we'd love to see you there, and hopefully you guys had fun tonight. If everyone can say thank you to Miss Danelle for giving us her time and sharing her expertise with us, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had an awesome time. So the fun thing is that you still have enough fabric. If you want to give it another try, go ahead and try another hat. I think it would be awesome to have 2.
This?
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close out the meeting, if that's okay with everybody.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Good night.